Pursue and destroy. Pursue and exterminate.
You have the intelligence reports, Prince Salander?
I do, Imperial Highness.
Well?
The Daleks continue to expand their empire. Within the last 3 months, they have conquered the planet Mazam.
It is as we thought.
From Mazam, they can easily reach Gyrodon. From there, threaten our trade routes.
It is possible, yes.
Imperial Highness, I beg that our defenses be strengthened, and that the 27th Fleet be moved to that sector.
Such a move could be seen
Listen
as
to him
aggressive.
prattle, always pushing for more battle cruisers, because he owns the Empire's biggest shipyard.
Such a move would be made to deter
But
or repel a
I'll
race
get
of
Censor
hostile
Pralis to
Daleks.
impeach him.
Imperial
A
Highness,
few
I
pounds
beg
of
you to
diamonds
consider the
will see
position
to
of the
that.
Empire.
Prince Salander, we consider nothing but the position of the Empire.
Then please,
Forgive me, Majesty. I disagree. The Daleks are already at war with the humans from Earth. They will not fight on 2 fronts.
the Daleks will fight on as many fronts as they desire.
Let us negotiate with the Daleks. We can make a treaty to give us peace in our time.
Fool. Words like that will dig a grave for our entire race.
Curb your tongue.
Forgive me, Imperial Highness, and excuse me.
You are angry, my prince.
It's that obsequious toady, the Secretary of the Right.
Ah, but you must be careful, my lord. The peace clique has the Emperor's ear.
Oh, you speak the truth, General Karinis.
We in the military know you are right. But the Emperor does not want another war. Not so soon after fighting the humans.
I do not want another war, but what of the Daleks?
General Karinis. My lord, you are wanted in the intelligence unit.
Come, my prince. Leave Axeron to his cowardly ways.
What is it?
We are getting a report over the hyperspace relay from our station on planetoid AQ-437, 4 intruders have entered our territory. Dalek ships.
3 ships are Dalek, certainly. But the one they pursue, I don't know. It looks alien.
Perhaps it is disguised. They could all be Dalek ships. They're on a course for Draconia. You, go immediately to the Emperor. Inform him of the intrusion, and that I beg leave to mobilize the 4th Interceptor Squadron.
Get me that Dalek commander on the hyperspace relay.
At once, General. I have him, sir.
I am General Carinus of the Draconian Imperial Command. Your ships are violating our territory. Explain yourself or face the consequences. Explain yourself.
Our affairs need not concern you, Draconian. We are facing a criminal, a terrorist, subversive, and murderer. We claim the right of hot pursuit. When the offender has been exterminated, we will withdraw.
Well?
The word of the Emperor for Prince Salander and the barbarian-crushing General Carinus. Tremble and obey. The Imperial One holds talks with Axiron. He will issue a command tomorrow.
Tomorrow, they'll be on our doorstep in an hour, and he's going to talk to that slime-eyed secretary until tomorrow.
My prince, the Daleks are opening fire.
Closer. I must see clearly.
I'll switch to station AQ-21. We'll get a better picture.
Look at that immaculately basin. What a pilot that ship must have. It's totally erratic. Brilliant.
But they're still getting too close, my prince. We must launch interceptors.
You are right, General. I will...
Prince Salander.
Perhaps there is no need after all. He's turning. One way or the other, it'll all be over in a moment. Look! He got one! I was right about that pilot. I've never seen anything like it. Amazing. Totally unpredictable.
Quickly, get the Dalek commander on the relay. We might distract him. The discharge of weapons on Draconian territory is considered an act of...
No time to talk to you now.
Ah! That light! What?
Your pilot must have blasted the Dalek command ship and half blinded us.
Look, the last Dalek ships. Turning, fleeing, and he's going after it.
I'd look if I could, but all I can see at the moment is flaring lights and explosions.
And there's another one for you. Carinus. He's wiped out all of them. Astonishing. Get that pilot on the relay. I want to talk to him.
He's back on course for Draconia, Highness. But I'm getting no response. I know my call's getting through. He's just not replying.
Send out a guidance and get clearance for landing.
Is this wise, Salander? Ought we not to inform the Emperor?
And get a decision tomorrow. Carinus, no. An enemy of the Daleks is a friend of mine.
All species are enemies of the Daleks. It does not follow
Let's go and meet him. here. I must congratulate him on his fine control.
Whatever his race, Salander, we don't know if he'll be friendly. I have posted guards in case.
We'll soon discover his nature, Carinis.
As you say.
Welcome, worthy one. You are among friends. May we know your honorable name and exalted rank?
My name? That's a good question. Let me see. Now I remember. Name's Absalom Dark. Dalek Killer. Where in... Oh, my blasted head. A dragon. So that's where I ended up.
My name is Salander, and you're in hospital. You were ill when you arrived.
Ill? Hell, I was drunk. A 12-bottle rack of Jinhua wine helps blot out the memories.
12? My inspection team found only 5.
Yeah, well, I had a lot to forget. What have you done with my weapons?
All in good time, my friend. When we've got to know you a little better. If you feel fit enough, we ought to return to the spaceport. There are a few formalities to clear up. It will help you here to be respectful, Absalom Dark.
Yeah?
And I recommend you avoid the word dragon. We think it's insulting.
Well, I'd sure hate to insult anyone, without meaning to.
You have a great deal of anger inside you.
I've got a lot to be angry about.
Your car, Your Highness.
Highness? Who are you, anyway?
My full title is Prince Salander, Noble of the First Degree, or Seeing Eye of the Imperial Intelligence Service, Minister of the Imperial Left Hand. In the company of others, you should call me my lord.
Fat chance. Who are we gonna see?
The Immigration Police.
Now, you are from Earth, and your name is... Absalom Dark.
Dark. Like in Quark.
And your occupation?
I kill Daleks.
You kill Daleks.
Sure. They exiled me to Mazam to wipe out the Daleks there, and when I'd finished, I headed here.
You did this on your own? And what did you do before your exile?
I killed people.
Yes, quite. Are you the owner of this space yacht?
No. It belongs to Princess Tyan of Mazam.
Princess? I do not understand the word, my lord.
It's the feminine of prince. Females have equal status among humans, even nobles.
Is she aboard?
Sure.
Why didn't you say so? It is she I should be interviewing, not a mere pilot. I assume she's in the locked compartment. Our team haven't opened that yet.
That's right, Drac. That's right. But there's one thing I forgot to tell you about. She's dead. I got her into the cryogenic freezer unit as quickly as I could. So, when you're through with question time, I want to see a medic about reviving her.
All this fuss about a mere female.
That's no mere female! That's a princess! And don't you forget it, fishhead! No!
Calm yourself, Epsilon Dark. You have much to learn about our ways.
Then you've got a lot to learn about mine.
We'll get you a doctor. Come. No more questions now.
Good. I'll see you here later, Salander.
Censor Pralis, I wish you to bring an accusation against Salander.
Salander? But he's one of the most upright ministers at court. On the other hand, he does seem to have villainous tendencies, especially in his dealings with this Earthman.
Earthman? Tell me more.
There is your patient, Dr. Zarix. We're relying on you.
I'll do my best, but human anatomy is difficult for a draconian doctor.
Difficult, but not impossible.
It's bad Alec energy blast.
Yeah,
How long before you got her in here?
20 minutes, I guess.
If only it had been 2 minutes. Well, let me see.
Forgive the intrusion, Majesty. It is a matter of the gravest urgency.
Speak, Censor Pralis. What troubles you?
Prince Salander has been exceeding his authority, Imperial Majesty. Only yesterday, he allowed an Earthman landing permission without consulting your august self. And the list of his indiscretions is long.
Troubling news.
Indeed, Majesty.
Salander has always been strongly opinionated, but loyal to the Empire. You must investigate this thoroughly, Sense.
As you command.
In the meantime, the First Secretary Axiron can take appropriate measures.
I'm sorry, Earthman. What you ask is beyond the range of draconian medical science. I cannot revive her.
Then fuel my ship, Salander, and I'll head for a human world, where maybe they can.
But I need you here, my friend, to convince our people of the Dalek threat. You have known them, fought them.
Let me go, Salander.
Absalom, I cannot, Strange. What's Axiron doing here? What is the meaning of this?
By the order of His Majesty the Emperor, the noble Salander is placed under arrest on suspicion of treason.
3 days they've kept us cooped up here. I can understand them locking you up, but why me?
Because giving you landing permission is the only crime they can prove against me. They're keeping the criminal and the evidence together.
But that's 3 days I haven't been able to get help for time. 3 days I haven't killed a Dalek.
Calm, Absalom, Dark. You're like a cage.
Tiger!
I was about to say Thorian, but the meaning is the same. Besides, if we cannot leave my residence, still my estate is large. Relax. Enjoy yourself until this is over.
How can
I? Come. I have something to show you in the rear block. Something a warrior like you might appreciate. My family have been the biggest spaceship manufacturers on Draconia for 3 generations. Our main shipyard is on the western continent, but I do most of the development work here, in secret. For some time I have been building a new cruiser. You might call it a heavily armed gunship to combat the Dalek threat. There, the first prototype Imperial-class frontier defense cruiser.
You can call it what you like, Salander. Me, I'd call it a real good-looking kill wagon.
It's designed for deep space combat and ground attack. Laser cannon, ship-to-ship missiles with photon fusion warheads, neutrino conversion into a bombing function.
Crew?
Normally 6, or scratch crew of 4, but 1 man could fly it.
Is that some kind of offer? 1 man could fly it, but he'd need at least 1 more to handle the weaponry. Is she fueled?
Yes, but do not jump to conclusions, Absalom Dark. I cannot go with you.
Why not? It's the easiest way out of all your problems.
Do not think me a fool, Absalom. But I have a young son in the Imperial Space Service. If I were to flee, they would punish him also. Ruin my family. Do not ask me to do that.
Okay, do what you want. But don't expect me to put up with this imprisonment much longer. Besides, people who tag along with me usually don't live very long. I see you've got a visitor.
Carinus! Why is he risking himself coming here?
Guess we better find out.
I bribed the guards. They won't say a word, but I thought you ought to know that Axeron and Pralis are presenting an accusation to the Emperor against you. It's looking bad.
If only we military officials of the left had the Emperor's ear.
But there is worse too, my prince. The Emperor has forbidden our ships to engage the Daleks. Yesterday, one of our geological survey ships strayed into Dalek space. They attacked and pursued it. They destroyed it when it had almost crossed the borderline, within gun range of one of our frontier scouts. Its commander obeyed the Imperial order and held his fire. The registration of the scout ship is DT-447.
My son's ship? No, not my son. I have no weakling son like that.
My prince.
Leave now, Carinus. deny you were ever here. Do not become involved in tonight's events.
As you command.
We shall escape tonight, Absalom Dark, in the kill wagon.
Whoa, hold on, Salander. Now you're getting ahead of yourself. I may be a far bigger fool than you, but I'm not leaving this planet without time. Not alive, anyway.
I suspected as much, which is why I brought these here before we were arrested. But it will take you time to reach the spaceport, even if you are not noticed. I'll blast off an hour after nightfall and meet you in orbit, if you are lucky.
And I'll meet you in hell if I'm not.
These charges seem very vague, Axiron. Some speculation about Salander's business affairs, and only the affair of this Earthman held against him.
We continue to accumulate
The impeachment is dismissed.
But the
It
information
is dismissed. And I have decided to inspect this space yacht the Earthman arrived in personally. You will accompany me, Axiron.
Your Majesty.
Hard to know what's going on these days. Everyone accusing everyone else.
So little to do since the end of the war with Earth. They turn inwards, you see. Fighting inwards.
So true.
But it's this murdering Earthman that worries me. Have you heard the stories about him? I know they say humans are an inscrutable race, but he makes me worried going on guard duty.
Don't be stupid. He's miles away. He'd never get this far through security, would he?
This is too easy. Hardly seems anyone about. Uh-oh.
Make way for the Emperor. Stand aside for the Imperial Guards.
Perhaps I should have left a statement clearing my subordinates and giving my reasons for leaving. But I doubt it would ever reach the Emperor's ear. So, farewell to Draconia, and the empty joys of position and power. And Dark and I will write our bitter tale across the stars.
Damn. What are he and his toadies doing on my ship? Straight choice. Either I give up the rendezvous with Salander, or I turn him out. And I never was much for subtlety.
Assassin!
It's the Earthman.
Over here! Protect the Emperor!
Hell, more of them! It's getting too hot in the open. So, it looks like the only safe place around here
Stop him!
is here.
Hold your fire, fools! You might hit the Emperor!
Relax, fish face. You're no use to me dead. But there's someone who's no use to anybody anytime. Axiron. Blast! Only winged him. The At that range, I should have smeared him all over the wall. Anyway, you and me are gonna walk over to my ship, and you're gonna give me launching clearance and no pursuit ships, aren't you?
Yes. Yes.
Hold your fire!
Move. So long, reptile. I'd say it was fun while it lasted, but it wasn't. Okay, honey, here we go. Just enough fuel to make orbit and join Salander, and no place else to go.
You succeeded then, Absalom Dark.
Sure, no problem. But we're real glad to see that kill wagon of yours. Careful with that cryogenic unit, Dragon. If anything happens to Tyan, I'm likely to annul your half of the partnership before we even get started.
I know how much she means to you, Absalom.
Oh, I doubt that. I'll meet you on the bridge.
I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
No luck this time, Princess. But one day. Right, Salander, she's stowed. Take us out of here. Oh, by the way, I brought you something you always wanted. Catch.
The Emperor's ear.
Trouble. We've got a ship heading in on an intercept course.
Get us closer. I'll try to pick up its identification signal. No, this must be Axeron's doing. That's my son's ship.
Yeah, it's gotta be Axeron. Only he'd come up with a mean trick like setting son against father.
No, I have already disowned my son. The craven animal who commands that ship is not of my family. And there is no choice. It's them or us. He must be destroyed.
But I'm not letting Axeron make you do that, Salander. You just fly us through this, and I'll take the front turret. And do it for you. Now, let's get this over quick. What in 9 hells? I haven't opened up! Salander?
Yes, Absalom Dark. Now we are truly brothers in misfortune. For death has claimed both those we held dearest. For me, perhaps the sorrow is greatest, because for my son, there is no hope of revival. But come, this is no time for lamenting. We must begin again, and we must find a crew. Do you have any suggestions?
Yeah, sure. So long as they haven't got themselves killed in the last couple of months.
Long ago, in the swirling mists of ancient history, well, 1979 to be precise, Doctor Who Weekly was launched, a 28-page comic that would eventually develop into Doctor Who magazine. Its first editor, Des Skin, was keen to balance the weekly comic evenly between comic strips and articles. However, budgets were tight, and Des Skin could only afford a 50-50 split between strips and articles by reprinting strips from Marvel Classics, these being adaptations of classic novels that had first seen print some 3 years earlier. By using this previously published material, which belonged to Marvel and was therefore free, Des was able to afford a second Doctor Who strip each issue. This secondary strip, now commonly known as the backup strip, did not feature the Doctor, apart from in the introductory and wrap-up panels, and focused instead on the Doctor's many adversaries. In the days when the only way to experience such monsters as Ogrons, Silurians and Ice Warriors in action was in the Target novelizations, these strips gained instant popularity, fully justifying Skin's self-professed passion for them. The strip debuted with The Return of the Daleks, 26 weeks before the Daleks came face to face with the Fourth Doctor in the main comic strip. The Return of the Daleks was written by Steve Moore, penciled by Paul Neary, and inked by David Lloyd. It was followed by Throwback: The Soul of a Cyberman, again written by Steve Moore, but now with art by Steve Dillon. This 3-part strip was to introduce the first proper hero of the backup strips, Cyber Leader Croton, the Cyberman with a soul, who would later return in issues 23 and 24 in the adventure Ship of Fools, and who would, much later still, cross over into the main comic strip in the 1990s to become a companion of the 8th Doctor. Issue 8's The Final Quest brought us our first ever comic strip encounter with the Sontarans. The Stolen TARDIS, a tale of the Time Lords, took us to Gallifrey. K9's Finest Hour showed us K9 taking the lead, so to speak. Warlord of the Ogrons, well, you work it out. And Deathworld pitted the Cybermen against the Ice Warriors on the planet Yama 10. Of course, what followed in issues 17 to 20 proved the backup strip's greatest triumph as Absalom Dark, Dalek Killer, made his first appearance, with scripting duties still held by Steve Moore and art duties handled by Steve Dillon. There may be something else on this disc about this particular comic strip creation. Twilight of the Silurians, dedicated to the memory of Malcolm Hulke, and The Outsider, another tale of the Sontarans, followed, before we once again caught up with Mr. Dark in Star Tigers, which covered issues 27 to 30 and is effectively the comic strips covered by the main presentation on this disc. Yonder the Yeti remains to date the only comic strip adventure of the Yeti, though the Ice Apes from TV Comics' Second Doctor strip so closely resemble them that they have copyright infringement written all over them. With the creepy Cyberman story Black Legacy and the Auton adventure Business as Usual, Alan Moore made his Doctor Who comic strip debut. Art was provided by David Lloyd, and the pair would later work together again on V for Vendetta, which is very famous. As Doctor Who Weekly transformed into Doctor Who Monthly, so the Star Tigers returned for another 3-part outing, this time gaining Harmer the Ice Warrior and Vol Mercurius, and apparently setting up many more returns for the Dalek-destroying crew. Star Death by Alan Moore takes us back to Gallifrey and back to the time of Rassilon, and explicitly states for the first time that Rassilon and Omega were contemporaries, something the television series had only vaguely inferred, but which would become canonical during the era of the Seventh Doctor. In Touchdown on Deneb 7, another tale of K9 taking the limelight, and Voyage to the Edge of the Universe, a story featuring the demons, Paul Neary took over on writing duties, having previously worked on the art side. Crisis on Kaldor saw the comic strip debut of the Robots of Death, incidentally the most recent one-off monster ever to feature in the strip, and a return to the backup strip for Steve Moore, though it would also prove to be his swan song. With 4D War, writer Alan Moore built on events from Time Lord history first seen in Star Death, which would conclude in the story Black Sun Rising, where the character of War Dog returned along with the Sontarans. Skywatch 7, which appeared in the 1981 Winter Special, and which was penned by then-editor Alan Mackenzie under the pseudonym Maxwell Stockbridge, saw an appearance by the Zygons, battling unit in the Arctic. Mackenzie also penned Tales of the Time Lords, Minotaurus, for the same Winter Special, which once again showed us a little of life on Gallifrey. The Greatest Gamble saw the comic strip debut of the Celestial Toymaker, last seen on our TV screens in 1966, in a story penned by John Peel, also making his debut. The Toymaker would return in the magazine's lead strip during the 1990s to confront the newly regenerated 8th Doctor, and John Peel would return to the backup strip to pen issue 59's The Gods Walk Among Us, another tale of terrible things happening to terrible Sontarans. Issue 61's Devil of the Deep, which unsurprisingly features a sea devil and a large ferocious sea monster. Not that one. That one. And issue 64's The Fires Down Below, which saw a return of the Dominators and the Quarks. Having become slightly sporadic, the backup strip finally folded in issue 64, although Dr. Ivan Asimov from the main Doctor Who strip The Freefall Warriors and the Freefall Warriors themselves would both feature in 2 strips in the 1982 summer special, in strips entitled The Fabulous Idiot and A Ship Called Sudden Death. According to a later article in Doctor Who magazine, the reason for the backup strip ending was twofold. Firstly, Marvel found it difficult obtaining the necessary licenses to use the monsters. Secondly, with the cost of a page of comic strip far exceeding the cost of a page of text, and Marvel still on a pretty tight budget, and articles proving more popular at the time, it made economic sense to print fewer comic strips and more articles. However, these strips will always remain a treasure trove of stories and images for Doctor Who fans across the world to enjoy.